So we have Sarah Lally with us today. Sarah is based in New York and County Clare and is from Shannon originally. Hooray! Sarah, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and what are you doing in New York?
Yeah, sure. So like you said, from Shannon, born and bred. Went to Simmons in the comp. Yeah, so I'm a art director by trade, or and a filmmaker as well. So I studied design in LIT, and then I went back as a mature student and studied film in LCFE, and then I started work in television. So I've worked primarily like on the west coast of Ireland, so like Galway, Clare, Cork, kind of Kerry, and then I've done a little bit in like Dublin and things. So how I kind of started out was in on Klondike as a trainee art department member. So I ended up doing a lot of like graphic design from my background. And through that, then I got a job interview with Ross Naroon. So that's the Irish language soap opera on TG Carr. So I started there as standby props. So just in case anybody doesn't know, a standby prop is someone who's on set who will reset props and like look after props for the actors and just kind of keep an eye on the monitor and stuff. And then shortly after that, I got a promotion to art director on Ross Naroon. So I was there 6 months a year for the last couple of years. And then on the other 6 months, I kind of worked sporadically in different jobs. So that was up until last year. And then my husband, who's also from Shannon, Keen is his name, he got a job promotion and was asked to move to New York. So we said, why not? And we ended up over here.
Great. Yeah.
Just before the pandemic.
Oh yeah, yeah. Great timing. Great opportunity
Yeah.
for you as well, though, Sarah. Great opportunity to be in New York.
Of course, yeah, of course.
Yeah. But you're also you're a writer too, Sarah, and that's why
I am. Yeah, I am
we came
indeed.
across your writing. Well, we came across you reading your writing on a poetry website from the States. So do you want to tell us a little bit about your writing?
I will, of course, yeah. So I've always loved writing. I've always gravitated to writing. I think if you asked me at 15 what I wanted to be, it would have been a journalist. But I felt it never was for me. Felt I never had the chance. Like that was for other people. Which now obviously I know is silly, but it's something I try to reiterate to younger people. Like it is, like your dreams are for you. You just need to have that confidence, I think, a little bit. And you need that support as well. Someone to tell you that it's not crazy to want to work in film or TV. So I've always kind of gravitated that way. And then when I went back to college to study film, I was taking script writing with Sean McLeod as the teacher. And I feel like I found my love of writing again through the classes. I was actually nominated for like a script of the year for one of my scripts, which I still kind of hold quite close to my heart. It's something I am quite proud of. So it just kind of went that way, and I always had like these little ideas, and I would take part in like writing competitions or like prompts just to keep the kind of flow going. And then last year, my two of my friends, Kaylin Kerr and Owen Rice, very graciously was pushing me to actually film one of my scripts. So I did that. So we're in the middle of the editing process of that at the moment. It's just a little bit hard over Zoom, which is how we're doing it. But so then poetry is something I do love poetry. I always had a bit of a graw for it. But I didn't think I was a poet. Like I didn't think and I don't think of myself, I don't even think of myself as a writer, if I'm totally honest with you, because I don't know, I find I can't yet. But I just, one night I couldn't sleep. I'm sure a lot of people during the pandemic have had the same feelings, that they couldn't like sleep and just couldn't get the thoughts out of your head about what's going on in the world. So this piece that I'm going to perform later kind of came to me one night in bed. If I open my phone now, I can show you where I typed it all up on my phone. So it's all like on my phone in a note, because it was just thoughts that I kept focusing on. And a lot of it is about what is going on in the world. A lot of it is about what's going on at home. and like the pandemic and the Black Lives Matter movement over here as well. Obviously, I know it's been over at home as well, but it's just obviously I'm experiencing it here, and just kind of trying to put my thoughts together, and it just happened to, I don't know, rhyme a little bit.
Yes.
So that's kind of it. Like,
So would you like to read it for us? Are you ready to read it for us?
I will, of course, yeah. If you don't mind bearing with me a second, because I'm going to have to take a swig, I think.
Absolutely.
It's water, I promise. Okay. So this poem is called Do I Measure in Distance? Do I measure in distance? 3,000 miles, an ocean divides us. Since I stepped foot on the soil that I sprung from, it has been an age of virus and vitriol, protesting for haircuts or justice or an end to the system. I'm a stranger here, learning what this all means. No justice, no peace. I can't breathe. I'm a stranger here with so much to see. At times, I don't know my own homeland, with cries that the Irish aren't racist, reminders that we too were slaves of a foreign regime, yet our sisters and brothers beg to differ, suffer the hateful comments and oppressive silences. A light that is fueled by gas, claiming enlightenment, but really showing our entitlement to be born in a land revered, in a skin admired, with hair that stokes fire and songs that breathe flames. Charming and funny, with songs to be sung. All at once, I wished I was in Carrickfergus, but that I'm never going back there because I couldn't anyway, and that I stood beside your western shore and I saw summer sunsets and still wanted more, and my mind going back to the west coast of Clare, or maybe it's all in your head. What song do I sing, newly arrived to the city that never sleeps? But right now, I can't seem to wake up to a world that either cowers in fear or showboats in arrogance. The motherland, mother nature and nurture, she's never looked more beautiful, too far away to see. In company, I embrace her with love and respect. I speak of her glories and honor her defeats. I conveniently leave out her faults because I can't see them for the rain. The foggy dew that mists over her lands, granting life and love, and that oft-heard phrase, "'Tis a fine soft day." Her heroes are many and often disputed. There's the Keanes, Robbie, Roy, or John B, or maybe Peg and Biddy Early, and Connolly and Collins, O'Connell and Countess Markovitz, and Yeats and Joyce, Imelda and more. Grania Whale, the pirate who many adored, in her tower in Achill, her sons her Achilles, Elizabeth her rival, and the ocean her home. Phil Lynott, who told us the stories of long ago, and the generation who came home to vote, and who, ignoring her thorns, dragged the black rose into the 21st century with a resounding yes, repealing and revealing a nation of notions, notions that we too can dream big for somewhere so small. She is everything at once, our teacher and child. Did I abandon her? Or maybe she has given me wings to see and survive and to thrive and to come home to visit and shower with love her hills and her streams and her city so fair, with a lady, a rebel, a tribesman and titan, a raggle-taggle group whose company we cherish and praise and raise our glasses up in honour of our varied parts and our broken hearts, and to the people of Ireland. The dark of our past still haunts us like the Hellfire Club, Leap and Loftus, a generation forced to wrestle the reins from those we had trusted and taught us all never again. We rebelled and we fought in silent ignoring the bells that had once called us to his home, but we had been burned too often by that hearth. Words that have meaning that we understand deep in our marrow. Tume and repeal, Mocanelik Saipan, equality, Iran, Naveen, and that there was a dance in Billy Brennan's barn. So we stand on the precipice, awaiting what's next, and we wait with bated breath as we wonder, where can we go from here? Can we ever go home, or is home gone once you have had your wake and taken the soup? A broth that had promised us better, but left many starving on the streets that they had built, a stew of promised prosperity, but just led to inevitable poverty. Those who stay fear the same as those who left, a changed country, where children need a room and safe space, while their parents study the classifieds, drafting a letter after hours on daft, looking for a roof that home could be under instead of living in hotels destined to wander, and searching for somewhere to call their own, at least for 2 years, while the rent is controlled. She isn't flawless, our Roisin, with her civil unrest. She is broken and grazed like the children she raised, knowing her faults but not loving her less, but embracing her closely or keeping an eye, when the world is too big and the sea is too wide.
Beautiful. Now, I have to correct you, Sarah, on something you said. I don't know if I'm a writer or a poet, and I think you're very much a writer and very much a poet.
Oh, thank you.
That's a beautiful poem and beautifully executed as well. And I love the idea that you said you were performing it, and it is a performance. You know, it's poetry is a performance, and I love the idea that you performed it.
Thank you very much.